Hello, today I'm going to be presenting my influence of environmental factors on learners project. I did my analysis at Meadows Elementary School. And here are my 5 chapters that we will be analyzing through my presentation. The first chapter is the exploration of contents in the classroom. These were the data sources that I was able to find. Each and every single one of the data sources is, not each of them, but they all include either quantitative or qualitative information, and each of them includes the importance of knowing what ethnicities and cultural backgrounds each of the students has as the teacher of the classroom. This allows for the teachers to be able to instruct in different ways based on the cultural norms that each and every student might have. Also, there's more efficient learning when the students have relationships with each other, with relationship with the teacher, and also teacher having a really good relationship and good communication with the student and the students' families, which causes for families to feel a bit more included. Next, we can see my summary of themes, which first would be my cultural representation and school climate, then my differentiated instruction and individual support, and equity and resource allocation. Here we can see that my theme 1, my resources that fit into the cultural representation and school climate, we can see how there's a very big population of the Hispanic Latino side in the area of the school. My second theme was I was able to relate it to my teacher interview, and also in the way of being able to see how much English language learners there are at the school because of it being a border town to the border of Mexico. And third was the equity and resource allocation, which I was able to tie into my teacher interview and also tie into the way that this is an area that is a bit more on the higher living cost side and lower household income. Here we can see my reflections that I was able to do, my reflection 1, my reflection 2, and the answer to my inquiry question. My chapter 2 was on the exploration of contents in the school. Here are the data sources that I was able to see and that I was able to learn from. Each and every single one of the data sources that I was able to find, all of them had a bit more of the statistics of what student groups were each enrolled in a year, the test scores of each of them, of reading and math, to be able to see where it was at for the subject proficiency, and also the teacher preparation and placement. Here's my data sources. Here's my section 1, my theme 1, the data sources and findings this is my second part, and you can see the school's mission and different programs that the school follows to be able to help out parents that don't speak English and help them be a bit more involved with their students' life. We can see the 3 summaries: the family, student supportive services and intervention programs, the school safety and student well-being, and the teacher equality and instructional practices. And we can see how I tied in each of my data sources with the family/student support services and intervention programs. We can see that in my theme 2, I was able to tie it into the calming room that they offer at the school because of wanting teachers to be because of wanting students to be more calm and relaxed when it comes to being at the school. My theme 3, we can see that it was tied into all the charts that I was able to find on test scores and the reading proficiencies, math proficiencies, test scores. And we can also see that it was a bit on the lower side because of the lack of resources that are given to the students. Here I respond to my reflection 1, my reflection 2, and my inquiry question. And moving on to chapter 3, the exploration of contents in the community. My section 1 data sources and findings, I was able to tie this into the different surroundings, into like the crops and the different fields that are grown around the school, different ways of the school that the school funds to be able to provide certain resources to students. We are able to see certain activities that the school also does to be able to include parents. And the summary of the themes that I was able to find for this is the agricultural heritage and community values, community wealth and resource availability, and strong family and community engagement. And here we can see my theme 1, which I tied into the resources that I was able to find with the fields that surround the school and the students learning from the farmers that own the fields around the school. My community wealth and resource availability, I was able to show how much goes into a household in this area and how much it costs to live here, and ways that the school fundraises to be able to provide resources for the students. And my section 3 for this part, I was able to show that strong family and community engagement, the school does this through activities that include the parents and staff, and activities after schools that include the parents, and also that the school provides a counselor and coffee moment to be able to get ideas from counselors on how to deal with students' problems. My reflection 1, my reflection 2, and my inquiry question. And chapter 4, my analysis of community, school, and classroom contents. This shows how I was able to tie this information that I learned into the Meso system, into the Chronos system, and I was able to do a holistic interaction review. I was also able to do implications across domain and answer my inquiry question of the section of this chapter, which was, in what ways do the interactions between a student's home life, school life, and community environment influence their overall development and academic success? And chapter 5, my presentation of analysis. Here I am able to show what my goals that I have set for myself in identifying professional development were, and one of them being making sure that around my classroom there are book displays and learning resources that show multiple diverse cultures and languages and family ethnicities. And a school one, I was able to set a goal to be able to communicate with families and parents weekly, to be able to provide them with newsletters, with emails, with phone calls, to update them on different stuff going on at the school and stuff going on with their children. And the community, I was able to come up with inviting community leaders of different professions, companies, and local businesses to be able to teach the students about the different experiences and connections that they can make at the communities and how they are a part of them. And here I was also able to kind of reflect on ways of being as an educator, things that my values and ways that I'm able to reflect it in the goals that I was able to set for myself, and to show that these values will allow me to be able to reach my goals in my classroom, school, and community for success to my students. And lastly, as my last part of this reflection, I was able to kind of come up with ways to be able to take action in the goals that I set for myself, and ways to be able to go about being able to teach my students and being able to give them the correct equality and inclusive environment that they deserve, and tying it into the Bronfenbrenner biological systems theory. Thank you for listening to my project, and I hope you enjoyed it.